Welcome back, Video Creeps! Today we're going to be reviewing a very special movie for a very special man. This movie comes highly recommended from my buddy Brad Thornton, and it was a film that I had never seen before. So let's get into it. Let's review the movie Nightbreed. So Nightbreed was created by Clive Barker, who you might know from popular films like Candyman or Hellraiser. And watching this movie, definitely the things that make both those films a Clive Barker film, this has in spades. As soon as the opening letters come on, you get to see like the creatures that you're about to see in this film, and it's exciting. It's really cool to see. Fuck suspense. Let's just see the monsters. We see two creatures in the beginning of this film, and it looks like they're running at night through like a cemetery or something. But before we can put it all together, we meet our main character, Aaron Boone. And Aaron's having a hard time. He's having these fucked up dreams where he's seeing like these creepy creatures. He doesn't know what to do with it. He just thinks he's a fucked up kid.
It's a fucked up world and a fucked up place. Everybody's judged by that fucked up face.
But he's not a fucked up kid. He's woken up by his girlfriend Lori, who I should have known would be a creep because she was just like watching him sleep.
Well, hi.
He mentions that he had another fucked up dream. She mentions that she could just give him some pussy and like make him feel better. Hey guys, so here is a major fucking bummer. For whatever reason, the video that I recorded zoomed in on my face, and I can't seem to figure out a way to manually fix it, to bring it back up to ratio. So for the majority of this video, you're gonna have to like just enjoy my bottom half and face, this much of it or less, because even my eyes are cut off at some point. I wish there was more I could do, but there's not. So but Aaron brings up that he has to go and talk to his doctor, who is the only person who actually knows what he's been going through this entire time. The doctor gives him a call to schedule something, and we meet him, and he's just the creepiest doctor in the world.
Aaron? It's Dr. Decker.
Hey, long time no speak.
4 months.
I don't like his demeanor. Right off the bat, you can tell there's something like fucky and weird about this dude. He opens up a suitcase.
Take a look inside. Is my in a box?
It's in a box.
Not gonna get you.
But we don't see what's in the suitcase. And then it cuts to a scene of a random man in a mask, and he just murders a family. Don't get me wrong, she wasn't the most hands-on mother in the world, but she didn't deserve to go out like that. But what's more is the reaction that this little kid has to seeing his mother and father murdered. It's like it didn't even matter. Very jaded kid. The actress who plays Lori and the actor who plays Boone, I feel like they were legitimately attracted to each other, like in real life. There's something about the way that they make out. Like at the end of the day, these are just actors. But I could tell that these two actors were like fucking dope. That's who I get to make out with.
No more cards in.
Boone goes to see the doctor, and the doctor whips out a bunch of pictures, proving that the dreams that Boone has been having are identical to actual murders that have been going on. And he thinks Boone is a killer.
I got you now. I got you now.
The doctor gives Boone some pills, and he goes home and burns his entire identity. And then sits back and just like hallucinates banging his girlfriend. Some people just have a one-track mind. Boone goes to see his girlfriend perform, where she does an amazing cover of Johnny Gets Angry. I like the original version. I would totally download this Nightbreed version. But Boone doesn't make it through the whole performance. At some point he decides that he's gonna dip out, you know, because of the crazy. But as he's walking through the streets, this just lands him in a hospital, which is a key point in this movie. Boone has been dreaming of a place called Midian, where he's seeing these demons. And while he's in the hospital, he comes across another person who is babbling about Midian.
The likes of you. What did you just say?
What did you just say?
You said Midian.
Did I? Maybe.
What do you know about it?
It's where the monsters go. It takes away the pain.
The two link up and decide that they're gonna go to this place together. Why the first guy didn't just go by himself? Why did he need Boone to go? I don't know. But he has like these blades on his thumb that he like fucking cuts his, and then he like rips his head off and shit. And that's it. That's just like what this guy looks like for the rest of the movie. And it's fantastic. It's things like that that make me feel like I'm watching a Clive Barker film.
Nothing.
That guy dies, and of course the doctors show up right at the worst point. And then I don't know what to believe. Keeping a logical mind, if I were the doctors, I also would think that Boone now has killed this patient. Boone is able to get away, and with the directions that Mr. Rip Your Fucking Head Off gives him, he's able to track down this cemetery where he meets two Midian representatives who are just kind of chilling. One guy who looks like a cross between like Predator and the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers. And the other guy just has like a moon face and the features of the bad guy from that kids show Lazy Town. But shit goes wrong. They don't think he's one of them. So Creeper Predator bites him and he has to run away. But when he runs away, he runs into the cops. The doctor is with him and says, "Hey, let me talk to him. I know how to deal with this guy." He approaches Boone, but then boom, homie lies on him. The police light this motherfucker up like the 4th of July, and Boone is very dead. We see the mortician taking his dead body, and he begins the exhuming process. And I'm also gonna add, keeping it light, he's listening to some very upbeat, enthusiastic music. For such a drab activity, he turns away for a second, comes back to the body, but Boone's body has dipped out. No one knows where it is anymore. His girlfriend, who is the biggest clinger I've ever seen in cinematic history, can't get over his death and ends up going to the site where he was killed.
You are so fucking pathetic.
She meets a new friend who's just looking for some dick, honestly. Which is great, you go, you get that dick. Only problem is, the dick that she finds belongs to the doctor.
What are you doing here?
Hello, Shelley.
And when Lori comes back to see her new friend, she's very dead.
Oh my god.
By the way, anyone who's seen this movie, does anyone else think that she looks kind of like Chrissy Seaver from Growing Pains? Like an adult Chrissy Seaver. We finally see Aaron, and he's with head missing crazy guy, and they walk into a room in the cemetery where it's kind of like an eyes wide shut situation.
What is the password?
Orgy.
You may enter.
where they induct Aaron into the Nightbreed, which is a group of mutated monster people. The reason that Aaron was able to survive was because before he got lit up with bullets, he got bitten. The main like Moses guy puts his hand on his chest. And says, all right, you're one of us now. Welcome to the Moon Tribe.
Wubba lubba dub dub!
Lori is able to track down this same group of people, but she's not able to become part of the group because she's a natural, or a muggle if you fuck with that hairy shit. But she bypasses these people and is able to start weaseling her way around Midian. However, Midian is kind of like McCamey Manor, and they scare the shit out of her.
You're all misery!
Let me out!
The doctor is able to track down Lori and decides it's time for Wayne Brady to stab a bitch. But Aaron sees this. He's like, nah, fuck that. That's my girl. And he goes to save Lori. This is also the first time that we see him like transform into his Nightbreed version of himself. And it's cool. They all get like these really fucked up features and looks like they just finished vaping. The doctor is able to get away and he snitches, telling the FBI that he found where Boone is, and Boone wants to bring Lori back to Midian with him. However, there are rules. Baphomet, who made this place, is like, nah, we don't do that here. So he decides that he's gonna go see Baphomet and try and change that rule. While this is happening, Lori and Aaron are separated again. So Lori is trying to find Aaron, and as she's going through Midian, this movie feels like a fucked up adult labyrinth.
The babe. Babe with the power. Power of voodoo. You do. Remind me of the babe.
Because there's so many cool creatures in this thing. It's just a joyride for your eyeballs. She's trying to go down where Baphomet is so that way she can be with Aaron. Because again, this bitch is needy as fuck. But everyone tells her, you can't go down there. Motherfucker, there's berserkers down there.
My love for you is like a truck berserker. Would you like some making buck berserker?
But eventually she's able to link up with Aaron after he speaks to Baphomet. And these two escape Midian together. Although there are repercussions for some of these creatures. Some can't go out into the sun. So this is a dicey move. However, Aaron is completely unaffected by this. In the same way that he's actually the only person to ever actually meet Baphomet and come back. So people can see him with their own eyes. Clearly, something very special is going on with Aaron. We don't know what it is yet. We see the doctor go to a hotel where he kills the innkeeper, and just a few moments later, Aaron and Lori end up going to this same hotel. Quick deviation, whatever that innkeeper was eating, just the fat kid in me wants it.
Oh, shit. Oh, God. What a mess.
I don't even know what it was. It was just like cream and cake and delicious. I would fuck that thing up. It looks so good, at some point she eats it off the floor. The hotel gets surrounded by cops and FBI, and Lori on her clinger shit is like, I will never leave you. And then immediately leaves him. Like, granted he told her to leave him. I just thought that it was funny that those were like right next to each other. Like she gets in a car and drives away kind of shit. While this place is surrounding and arresting Boone, a second group of police officers go to check out the cemetery. Which sucks because they end up finding one of the people who live in Midian. And he's actually one of the nicer dudes that live there. Definitely a casualty. They drag him out into the sun and the sun fucking turns him into dust.
No. Groot. No.
Sad shit. Chief of police gets on TV, starts talking about how they have a person who is dead in captivity, and then the entire town overreacts. Which is really sad because earlier in the movie, when you learn about these creatures, it's revealed that they live in shadows and during the night because humans came in and fucked their shit up. And no matter how much time has passed, we haven't changed. Humans find out about this, and what do? They go out to go kill these motherfuckers. Boone ends up getting rescued and heads back to Midian, where a war is not raging. It's more like a massacre. This whole movie, the Nightbreed are portrayed like these really gruesome, scary creatures, but when it comes down to it, they're just kind of a bunch of bitches. Like, what the fuck happened to all the tough guys? And all the scary, rapey vibes you guys were throwing out. So I'll talk, we see that briefcase again, and then it pops up, we see that in the briefcase was the doctor's, like, mask and murder stuff. The whole film long, he's just been trying to frame Boone for his killings, and he kills the FBI agent by, like, cutting his shoulder. It's really silly. But eventually Boone is like, nah, motherfuckers, we need to fight back. And he gives them all pieces of wood, and then, like, they start fighting back. It's a very nice moment.
Show me your genitals. Your genitals. What? Show me your genitals. Genitalia.
But by this point in the movie, I do feel like the monsters made a completely different, like, personality change. For the first, like, 2 halves of this movie, these are kind of like gruesome, creepy monsters. And then in the last act of this movie, they're more like the Creatures in Basket Case, Part 2.
I'm not afraid of you, or him, or any of you.
Misunderstood, nice if you give them a chance, living in hiding. The police decide that they're going to just blow up the entire cemetery. Fuck these monsters. Fuck the permission that we would need from the families of the people who are fucking buried here. Who gives a shit? Small town. We do what we want. But the main dude and Boone, they're like, wait, chill, we gotta go down there. We gotta fucking move Baphomet. We can't just leave that dude down there, or else Midian will be fucked up. He created all of this. We owe him. So they do. They venture back down while everything is shattering around them. The serial killer doctor ends up going down there as well, where Boone and him have a face-off.
Not yet. One last dance.
Boone is able to kill the serial killer finally, because that dude was a problem for everybody. And he's able to make it down to the statue of Baphomet, where he is told that now he has to take on the responsibility of saving everyone who's left. Because this is kind of your fucking fault, dude.
You have destroyed our refuge. This was inevitable. No home is forever. You must rebuild what you've destroyed.
If it wasn't for that chick, you know the one, the clinger, none of this would have happened. Which is unfortunate because it wasn't his fault, it really was her fault. I feel like Boone was like ready to accept his new life.
Accept yourself. Love yourself. Accept yourself. Love yourself.
But no, we never broke up, homie. We're still together. I know I didn't bring him up at all in this review, but there's also like a priest in this movie who was also arrested, but they brought him along when they went to the cemetery. I'm only bringing him up now because like at some point he like spills the opposite of holy water. He like spills holy milk on himself and it like fucks him up. I just thought that was worth mentioning because I thought that was fucking great. And then the most clingy part of this movie. Aaron and Laurie get away, and Aaron tells Laurie, listen, I got a lot of things going on right now. You and me, I think we can't do it. So Laurie gets pissed and pulls a, you can't leave me. I'll kill myself.
Boone?
Laurie, no!
She gives him an ultimatum at the end of this movie. How self-involved do you have to be in order to pull some shit like that? Don't you see? The world is greater than what the fuck we have going on. He just slabs on that pity party shit. So he bites her, and he's able to bring her back to life. And the movie ends with the remaining Nightbreed waiting for Boone to come back, so that way he can champion and take them to the next place where they will be safe.
How soon?
On the next wind. If not tonight, then tomorrow.
On the next wind.
I gotta say, by the end of this movie, I was there. It's interesting. The special effects are really cool. I like the puppets and the designs of the monsters. The kills are plenty bloody, which is great. And the world that we build is interesting. I liked when we were in Midian. I liked when we were in the regular human world. I look forward to seeing more of this storyline. Unfortunately, when I went to look online, there wasn't a part 2. I was ready to get in there. But what I did see was that Sci-Fi bought the rights to Nightbreed, and that they were going to start developing a TV show. Because that's just where horror is these days. Exorcist has a TV show. Hannibal had a TV show. The Purge has a TV show. Child's Play is getting a TV show. All of our horror icons are coming back in a serialized form, which is fucking awesome. If a TV show is what it's going to take for me to see what's going to happen with the rest of this story, then so be it. I thoroughly enjoyed Nightbreed, and I definitely recommend it to you guys. In fact, while I was watching this, because it oddly gave me like Labyrinth vibes at certain points in the movie, so I actually got on my phone and reached out to my buddy Janice, and I was like, hey, do you know this movie? She's a little cinephile, so she had already seen it and shit. But shout out to Janice, because I said I would. You guys, Nightbreed is a fun time. Pop it in, get drunk, do some drugs, because I give this movie an 8. And honestly, any movie above like a 3 is worth watching. Thank you so much for staying to the end of my review. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell so that way you know when my next review will be up. Peace, video creeps.